What's going on, everyone? Savage, and today we're joined by WARHAMMER of War and Romance Alliance. His World Cup team was one of the 4 teams representing North America in the knockout bracket, and also he was a leader of the team that came up only 100 points short in a live match at the Savage Siege event. Such a great battle. We wanted to get to know WARHAMMER a little bit better and see if we can get some ideas on how he has been so successful. At first, could you tell us where you're from and how long you've been playing Clash of Kings, and where did you get the name WARHAMMER?
So I live in Colorado, U.S., and I've been playing since the beginning of Kingdom 2. Dang. So I've been playing for a long time, and the name WARHAMMER is there's an old game called WARHAMMER 40,000, and that's an awesome name. I'm gonna take it.
Yeah. I was actually gonna ask if that's where it came from. There's another one now. Total War came out with a WARHAMMER version. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So outside of Clash of Kings, what are the kind of things do you normally do, or do you just kind of live and die by Clash and King?
You know, I hate to say it. Lately, I've been very lazy on Clash of Kings. My kingdom's completely at peace, so right now we're looking forward to the next merge, and we play for KVK, and that's about it. But outside of that, I work and spend time with my family, with 2 young boys, and when I get a chance, I do some drone flying.
Oh, nice, very nice. Those boys probably keep you busy.
That's where most of my time is at right now.
Now, your alliance's name is War and Romance. Do you know, or could you tell us what made you guys decide on that name?
The alliance was, more or less established prior to me joining in. Okay. I kind of was recruited in from some of the players that I knew that built castles over there. We kind of wanted to build the alliance for this kind of event specifically, but we wanted to, not that we didn't have faith in players from our own kingdoms, but we kind of really wanted to build a team that we knew we could all be on at the same time. Everyone respected how each other played, and for the most part, we knew we all played on the same style of game.
Yeah.
So we knew it just kind of would help flow and make things a little easier for us.
Yep. Now let's talk about the Savage Siege event we had this last week in Hollywood. How did you like the Savage Siege on a 1 to 10, and what was your favorite part of it?
Dude, it was a 10 hands down. Yeah. So my favorite part of it, the game aspect of it was more or less pretty smooth. We had our hiccups out there, and but it was meeting the people. That was probably the best part of the whole thing. I'm a pretty big spender myself. I've always been. I've got my parents, and both play the game, and they've spent on it as well. So I've recruited a bunch of people from Colorado. Like, I could create an entire alliance with my friends.
Call it the Rockies.
So it was kind of nice. I played the game for so long, and I've jumped from so many kingdoms because I've been pushed out by people just hitting me 300 times before safe resources came out.
Yeah.
To me, it was just kind of humbling to see that some of these players who don't have the experience, or longevity that I do, and don't throw the money at the game the way I do, to see that, they're still skillful players. So I think the Savage Siege event, and World Cup for that matter, that's what's really nice about that, is it allows the little guy to show his skill, which is just, that's awesome.
It is, yeah, it's very true. Now let's talk about the actual live World Cup match at Savage Siege. Now, during the match, your team was ahead by 500 points at first.
I believe we were up by 800 at one time.
Okay. You got me. Okay, now, how was it possible, do you think, for them to come back from that deficit? I think we kind of talked about it a little bit earlier, but...
Well, like I said, we ran into some technical difficulties about 22 minutes left in the game. And I heard that they had some early on. What honestly won it for them was their perseverance. They didn't quit. We were up by so much. We were so dominant off the start. And they just didn't have quit in them, man. They it's that's part of the skill of the game is capitalizing on your opponent's weaknesses, whether it be they hit some lag or they had some miscommunication or whatever it might be. Just that not being able to have it in you to quit and just keep pushing forward. That's what won it for them. I mean, they're a good team, and they didn't have, like I said, they didn't have to quit, that's awesome to see.
And this is a little bit different. The World Cup matches, the Savage Siege matches, only an hour. Normal Dragon campaign's 2 hours. Do you think that if it would have been 2 hours, you guys would have definitely came back? And because it's kind of back and forth there a little bit. Do you guys think with the 2 hours, you guys would have definitely won it?
We started off really strong. About 22 minutes in, they started coming back, and then just about the last 5 minutes, like our systems, everyone just started smoothing again. We recollected ourselves and started regrouping, and I felt like if the game would have gone another hour, I felt like we could have regained our lead and got our dominance back. I do feel like for some reason, we all got lucky. We got good purifications on our glass. I felt like they had bigger rallies, but I felt like our stats were better. Yeah. So that almost evened it out. We had a good game plan. Everyone knew exactly what we were doing from the first second of the match opening to the end. We talked about it. Everybody knew their role. We didn't have to do too much communicating other than, hey, there's a rally set on this, or we're setting a rally on this. Like, that was the only communication we had to do. And it was really smooth. I think, honestly, if it would have gone another hour, I'm comfortable enough to say I think we could have won.
Yeah, maybe we'll have to have a rematch sometime.
I would love to have a rematch.
But, it was a really great match and show that you guys put on. Like I told PDX, it was really an honor to get to broadcast that match and for everyone to see that, Now, what do you think about the World Cup in general and how it impacts the game?
So the World Cup, I think it's almost like an evolution for the game right now, because anybody in any size castle, I think level 20 and up, can go in. So it allows, like I say, the guys who can't go out and enjoy KVK, it allows them to finally get out and shine and show their skill and their love for the game. And I think that's a big turn for the game. It really is. I think a lot more people start getting into it. You're going to see a lot of people doing kind of like what, WAR and Romance did, is we, kind of tried to recruit from, the players that we've played with in the past. And we're like, hey, you're a good player. We know you. We know how you play. And I think might start seeing more of that in the future. Yeah.
And that would be good. That would be really good. Now, any improvement ideas you'd like to give the developers? Anything outside, as far as like not necessarily like, oh, well, it was like there was a lag here or something, but like, do you think maybe, more speed ups or 2 hours or more equipment and heroes or something?
You hit it there. You said lag and everything. That's like obvious. That's the obvious thing. But like I said, everybody has it, so that kind of evens it out. But as far as improvements on the game, I like the way World Cup was set up. We didn't we didn't get to enhance our troops because we only had the P5 troops. Yeah. And I actually kind of like that because guys who don't naturally have a P6 castle, they don't know how to set this stuff up. So a P5 castle right now, I think, is a little bit more well-rounded and maybe a better platform to go off of, in my opinion.
Yeah. And that kind of makes a good point. Maybe just kind of escalate it. Maybe it started with the P5 troops. That way, some that haven't had P5 troops, they can learn how to drive those a little bit better, and then just kind of, progress it with the heroes as we go over the next few seasons here, maybe.
Absolutely.
That's a good point, though, man. Now, I'm sorry to hear about you guys' recent loss in the knockout rounds of the World Cup. I think, do we have, out of the 4 teams, is there just one left, or is there all 4 are they out? I think we have one left.
I think there's one left.
Yeah. Now, but absolutely congratulations for you guys for being with those 4 teams. You guys
Thank
really,
you.
really represented well. And now, which teams?
We're we're a little bummed out we didn't get to represent a little better than we did. We were hoping to be further than this, but you know what? Losing to the opponent that we did today, there was. I mean, they're a good team. I mean, can't take anything from them. You know, all things aside, I mean, you play that match. You know, best 2 out of 3. There's a good chance they won 2 out of 3 easy.
Yeah, and you know, I don't think there was any. I don't think there was any kind of setup or anything like that. I think it's just kind of how the cards fell, but it really can, you know, make a big difference in who you get right out the gate. If you get one of the top 5 teams that are probably already there, it's kind of rough, you know.
Well, you know, and I had high hopes for tonight.
Yeah.
You know, we were the number 1 ranked from our region going in. We went up against China's number 2, and you know, they played like potentially the number 1 team. I mean, they were smooth, they were fast, and man, it was scary how fast they were at mobilizing.
We need to start making sure we're getting all this recorded and making sure we're taking notes on all this stuff. Now, which teams did you guys run into? Any teams in the North American bracket that you thought were probably pretty good enough to be in the top 4, but you guys beat them out? Or was it all just pretty average competition?
Well, I'm not trying to sound like, you know, disrespectful to any of the teams we went up against, but we had I had a really good team, and a lot of the matches we won by, you know, 2,000 points. I mean, so it's tough to say. I mean, any of them, like I said, they could have hit lag. They could have been missing some players at the time. In a perfect scenario, who knows how well we would have done in comparison to them. So it's tough to say. I mean, obviously, I want to say the top 4 teams are legitimately the top 4 teams. So I'm going to stick with that.
Yeah, I think that's probably a pretty fair answer.
Now, you know, it goes back to, like I said earlier, your perseverance, being able to overcome your own handicaps is, I mean, that separates you from the average player.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, it kind of, you know, it showed in this one. I mean, you guys really took it to them at the Savage Siege, but, you know, they just didn't quit. You know? Yeah. They could have very easily. I mean,
part of me wishes that about 7 minutes or 8 minutes in they would have quit, because then I could have won, but that wouldn't have been any fun to just be handed the win. So
yeah, you guys put on a great show, though. Now,
was that the closest match ever, or what?
I think it was. I mean, literally, it was like the last minutes. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Now, what would you recommend for teams preparing for season 2? You know, what could they be doing now? I guess, and what kind of things do you think they should be working on to better themselves?
Well, a lot of it, I think, comes down to the communication of the team and having people have their roles. You know, you have people set up as just defenders. You have people who set up as the rally leaders. Minimize your conversation so you can maximize your actual play time. Anything you can do that is, you know, less steps is going to help you out in the long run. Yeah. We get everybody on conference calls, and that's how we approach ours, and it's definitely helpful.
Yeah, it makes everything quick. Now, yeah, and I think it would be really great to see a North American team win the World Cup or a Dragon campaign. And, you know, I think with a little bit of teamwork and networking, it could be a reality. We just kind of got to see what the cards hold here in the future.
Right.
But bouncing back to the Savage Siege event, are there any words you'd like to say for Clash of Kings for the event or anything else like that?
You know, I just want to give them all a big shout out. I mean, it's nice to see the gratitude that they had for us, because I think I speak for a lot of players here in America. You feel sometimes like they don't care, or you're forgotten about at times, and to see them do an event like this and take care of the players the way they did, man, it was awesome. I mean, really, it's I can't thank them enough for the opportunity that they gave me to go out there.
Yeah, it was really great to get to meet everyone too, man. It was awesome.
Yeah.
So, I'm really looking for this next season. I think we're going to be putting together, we are putting together some of our, kind of a team in Kingdom 1947 that's getting ready to come out here. Hopefully anytime. It might have just came out here this last hour, but...
thinking it came out at reset today.
I'm going to have to go and check. If it did, I got to get on it, because we're trying to stand up like multiple World Cup teams there, kind of help each other out. And, hopefully this next year we'll just, hopefully we can all stay in touch, kind of network, and one way or another, take this for North America.
We've got enough players across the nation right now. There's no reason we can't, put together 4 or 5 teams and
right.
and make it happen for sure.
Yeah. Even just a few, everyone starting castles in one kingdom, playing in that kingdom and then maybe playing in the other one. We'll see. We'll stay in touch. So congratulations to you and WaR and Romance on an absolutely incredible season, both the Savage Siege and World Cup. Wish you guys all the luck next season. And like I said, let's stay in touch one way or another. Let's take it for North America. Thank you, Warhammer, for joining us. Thank you guys for watching. Smash the thumbs up button. Share a link of the channel to your Alliance members. Until next time, stay classy, stay dangerous, and as always, stay savage.